so excited!
I am excited. It's a great show coming up. We got tons of, let's see, we got Phillies Karen to talk about. If you didn't see that video, you got to go check out my Facebook page. And this Phillies Karen just basically takes a ball away from a kid. That's insane. The CU Buffs have QB drama. They needed this, to be honest, because in all honesty, I kind of forgot about the Buffs. Stopped caring that much. Shadour's not there. Travis Hunter's not there. Dion's still there. Yes. Oh, wait, they got QB drama? Yes, sign me up. The Broncos defense shined in their week 1 victory over the Titans, but the offense kind of struggled. There's a lady that's walked on Legos. Oh, one of the worst things as a parent you can experience. She did that for a world record. Totally not worth it. Not worth it. A lady in, I think it was Germany, called her boss a dickhead and got awarded $40,000. We'll get into that. And a nerd bought a lightsaber for $3.6 million. It's that kind of show, folks. We got a lot coming your way. Cannot freaking wait. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. Make sure you try to, if you can, interact with the show, whether it's a simple like of an episode or if you're able to leave a comment, depending on what platform you're on, go ahead and do that as well. Remember, today's show is presented to you by Kirkwall Group. And I lost the copy. You know what? We'll get to that later. How about that? We'll just roll into the headlines. Flawless, folks. Flawless. I don't make mistakes. Bullshit, Scotty. We all heard it. What the fuck? That ain't all balls. Cowboy, by the way, I forgot to tease that. What the fuck? First of all, really mouthy today. Second of all, we're going to get your All Balls award for week 1. Can't wait to get into that in sports. But right now, let's do it. Let's jump into headlines.
Let's go! Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
Oh, you'd think today was my first day. You'd think it would be. A New Zealand woman named Gabrielle Wall showed the strength. This is according to the UPI article that I found. Showed the strength of her soles when she ran barefoot over 100 meters on loose Lego bricks in 24.75 seconds. Oh my God, that's terrible. If you have kids, you've experienced this. I never knew that this was a thing until I had children. Walking around, especially if you're just really exhausted, maybe you're carrying something, I don't know. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, God damn it, what did I step on? Like something horrific. And you look down and it's like a stupid Lego or some sort of little toy. It's terrible pain. Terrible pain. I imagine it's the same as childbirth. I don't know. There's ladies listening be like, what? What the hell did he say? I don't know. I'm a guy. I don't know. Listen, ladies, have you ever been kicked in the balls? I don't think so. Okay? That's right. That's not all balls. I don't know what voice this is. I'm kind of in between. What happened there? The track was covered in 661 pounds of Lego bricks donated by Imagination Station, a New Zealand nonprofit that uses Lego pieces for robotics and mechanics education. That's nice. She said she spent 2 entire months barefoot to build calluses in preparation for her attempt and even attending a wedding without any shoes. The wedding things, that's not that big of a deal. Walking around in public is kind of gross if you're not wearing shoes. That's a little much. Walk around your house, that's fine. Walk around your neighborhood, that's fine. You go into a store, no. Go into a restaurant, no. It's disgusting. Don't want to see that. That's gross. You're putting your feet up, wiggling your toes. Let these puppies breathe. And they're all disgusting on the bottom. They're like scraped up. One's kind of bleeding, just covered in dirt. That's gross. Nobody wants to see that. But that being said, I get it. There's a thing called earthing, where if you walk around barefoot and you're actually on, say, soil, it's supposed to be good for you. I don't know. I read that somewhere. I assume everything I read on the internet is true. Don't you come at me. Don't come at me, folks. Duh, you stupid idiot. That's not right. Hold on. We're going to Google it. Earthing. Says Harmony. Okay. Earthing or grounding refers to the health practice of making direct physical contact with the Earth's surface, such as walking barefoot on grass or sand to absorb the planet's electrons. This is like a hippie thing. I don't believe this is scientifically proven, but you know what? I feel good when I walk around barefoot in my yard. I made the mistake of when we went to Waterworld the other day to walk around without using my flip-flops. My feet were so fucked up because they have a lot of concrete around there, but it's not smooth concrete, obviously. They don't want people to be slipping and falling. There's a bunch of idiots on this planet, myself included. And so it's kind of rough, so people are going to have more traction. My feet were just raw by the end. Raw. You know what I'm saying. Hey, speaking of raw, Connery, what? I banged your mother last night. You thought I was going to lead into it a little slower and gentle, like I did with your mother, but I didn't. Okay, this is weird. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, good for her for doing that. She got a world record. 2 entire months going barefoot. I think I could have done this. Again, guys, a lot of these world records are just a matter of, do you have spare time? Do you have nothing going on where you can just dedicate, I don't know, can we make a phone call to the world record people and I'll just walk across? She did 100 meters. I could do 200 meters. I imagine after, 2 meters, I'd just block it out and walk. But she did it in 24 seconds. I think I could do this. I got to be honest. I could do that. I'm an American. How many meters to yards? Meters to yards. That's 100 yards. That's a football field. That's a football field in the end zone. I could do that. You could do that in 24 seconds. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, I say this so often. One of us needs to just buck up and do it and call the Guinness World Records. We'll close our eyes, point to something, and we could accomplish the world record. What was that one, most high fives in 30 seconds? That's just a matter of how fast you can run. That's an unclaimed world record that we could do. Or we could spill out. We could do high fives and walk on Legos at the same time. And maybe they give us like 2 world records or 3. I don't know. We'll see. A UK supervisor was awarded $40,000 after a court ruled that she was wrongfully fired for labeling her boss a dickhead. First of all, bravo for saying that. She was like looking at some paperwork, and apparently she went off on them because it looked like she was going to get terminated because of their laziness, something like that. And she called them a bunch of dickheads. Then they're like, you can't do that. Wait, they're in the UK. Oi, you can't call us dickheads. Fuck you fucking cunt. You can say that word over there, okay? I don't have the C word alert up, but anyway, we're pretending we're in the United Kingdom. It's okay to say the C word. You guys know what the C word is, right? It's cunt.
C word alert. C word alert.
I know. They say things that are different over there. They do. They do. Anyway, she calls them a bunch of dickheads. They fire her, and she's like, "What? I called them dickheads because of this scenario." This is what the judge Sonia Boyes of the tribunal or at the tribunal said. Although her comments were inappropriate and regrettable, they did not justify summary of dismissal. Guys, if you're in the UK listening to this, call your boss a dickhead. Apparently, you can get away with it. And it's justified, I'm sure. Listen, there's been times where any one of us have had a moment where we're looking at our boss going, do I say it? Do I say it? Because I really want to say it. Right? But you don't say it. Or sometimes you do say it. Then listen, then they might not fire you then, but guess what ends up happening? You end up on a list. You're on that list of, okay, we're going to start getting a paper trail on this individual so we can start pushing them out the door. That's what ends up happening. They might not fire you for calling you for them calling you a dickhead or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They might not fire you for you calling them a dickhead. There we go. There we go. I did it. Words are tough. But anyway, they'll figure another way out to get to push you out the door. So this classic dickhead mentality. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. Fuck. I hated being a boss sometimes because you'd have to lay down the law and sometimes you're just like, I understand that they fucked up because I used to do the job myself or something like that. But, you know, the letter of the law says they have to be written up or whatever. I hated that. I remember the first person I fired. I was at Jamba Juice. I was I was the assistant GM at a Jamba Juice, and I had to fire this kid, this 16-year-old kid, because he could not make a smoothie to save his life. Now, here's what's funny, guys. They make it so freaking easy to make a smoothie at Jamba Juice. Anybody can do it. Literally, I could train you in 2 minutes or less, and I haven't worked there since 1999. I could go over there and train you how to make a smoothie in 2 minutes or less. You get the ticket. It says whatever the size is, let's say Pineapple Express or whatever it is, okay? I think that's still a smoothie. You wet the ticket, slap it onto the blender, and let's say it's a medium size Pineapple Express. You hit the medium button for the juice for pineapple, right? Because it has the recipe. It has the recipe for all of them on the machine. So you're like, oh, it's Pineapple Express. Pineapple Express gets, oh, pineapple juice. Okay, press that button. Go to the next stage. What else does it get? Oh, it's on the wall. It says Pineapple Express gets 2 scoops of pineapple, a scoop of, let's say, banana, and then a scoop of strawberry or something like that, right? You put that in there. It tells you what to do. Then you get the ice. You put the ice in there. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. You put the sherbet in there first or the non-fat yogurt, put it in there. And then you put the ice in there. And then you press a button. It's really fucking easy. I had to fire a guy because he could not do that to save his life. As long as it took me to describe how it works, you would already be done, and it would have been before I even got to the fruit, you would have probably had it on the blender. That's how easy it is. I had to fire him. And I remember my higher up, she's like, never say sorry. Just tell them the facts, and that's it. And I just remember going, I we have to part ways. Whatever the fuck I said, I was like, you're no longer employed here because you are wasting product. It actually costs us more to have you on staff because we can't cover you're wasting of I think there was like per per 5 orders he was screwing up like say 4 of them, if not all 5 of them. It was terrible. He's like, wait, so you're firing me because um I was like, you just cost us way too much money. You can't make a smoothie. Fuck, it's the easiest thing in the world. Anyway, that lady called her boss a dickhead. I'm here for it. I like it. Sometimes you got to stand up and state the facts. Bosses can be dicks. They go on power trips. I get it. Now, that being said, I don't recommend you go to your boss today and they're being kind of a jerk. And then you're like, you know what? I listened to Huff Uncensored today. I feel empowered. Mr. Bossman or Mrs. Bossman, you're being a dick. Huff power, yay. And then you get fired. You get fired. Because you have this paper trail and they're just looking for an excuse. I will tell you this. The most powerful thing you could do as a boss is to when somebody says, I'm putting in my 2-week notice and they're trying to make it like this is this big loss for the company. And you say, do you want today to just be your last day? Because we could do that. I did that to a lady once. Oh my God, I felt so good. Because we were looking for a reason to fire her. And she's like, oh, I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to have to quit. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Do you just want to quit today? Because we can do that. No, I was going to do 2 weeks. Okay, but if you change your mind, let me know. And we'll just, finalize it now. Boy, talk about popping that balloon of arrogance. It was great. Darth Vader's lightsaber sold at auction for over $3.6 million last week. What a fucking nerd. Hi, I'm a nerd. Can I buy this? This sounds great. I don't know what voice that is, but you're welcome. Darth Vader lightsaber. Could you imagine spending, I say this way too much, spending millions of dollars on a toy, especially this, you can't play with that. What are you going to do with that? You put it in a protective casing and you invite people over and say, look at what I bought. That's the authentic stage prop or the movie prop for Darth Vader. I don't get it. Listen, I make fun of Star Wars and people that are way obsessed with it, but it's a iconic franchise. But to spend $3.6 million on a prop that you really can't do anything but stare at, man, you got some wasted fucking money. Wasted money. Criminy. I'm just saying you could take that 0.6 and donate it to me. I'm just saying. Do something good with your money. Not buy a toy. What are you going to try to do? Impress like some ladies, invite a bunch of hookers over to your house? I don't know why they have to be hookers, but let's just go with it. You invite a bunch of hookers over to your house. You order some Papa John's, because why not? And you take them on a tour of your house, and you get to the the study, and then you're like, hello, hookers. This is my study. Notice the lightsaber over there. That's worth $3.6 million. Can we touch it? No, you cannot. I shouldn't call them hookers. That's like an old school phrase. Ladies of the evening, working women, or working fellas. Okay? Either way, they're going to be like, can we touch it? And they're going to be like, no, not with your hooker hands. Sorry. It's just too easy to go down that path. Working woman hands. Okay? Nobody's hands can touch it. That's a terrible, terrible analogy that I used there, but you see what I'm talking about. What's the point of having something like that just to stare at it? It's the people that buy these like super expensive paintings or uh sculptures and stuff. I get, but here's the thing. If that's your jam, that's your jam. You're not hurting somebody, that's fine. At least you're not buying crack with it, I guess, that or meth or whatever. By the way, real side note, some kids I overheard talking because we went to this little festival near our house over the weekend, and they're like, "Your farts smell like meth." And then the mom's like, "What are you talking about? How do you know what meth smells like?" Because Grandpa smells like meth. And we're like sitting there listening, and we're like, "What the fuck are we listening to?" Grandpa doesn't do meth. Yes, he does. He smokes meth every day. I'm not joking when I say this story. Guess what he was talking about? They were going back and forth menthol cigarettes. That's what they confused menthol cigarettes with meth. Kids, fucking understand what you're talking about. Jesus. Grandpa's gonna get taken aside by somebody and be accused of being a meth head, and all because you don't know the difference between menthol cigarettes and meth. The other thing too, if you have kids that are in like middle school, high school, they're saying 6'7". 6'7", bro. Guess what it means? 6'7". If you don't know what it means, it's the dumbest fucking thing out there. It's just funny to say. Why? Because in some fucking stupid rap song, they say somebody's 6'7". I think it's Lonzo Ball or something like that. And he says because he's 6'7", blah, blah, blah. They just say 6'7". And I've asked my son, his friends, and I asked kids on the baseball team that I help coach, what does 6'7" mean? I don't know. It's just funny. Looked it up. And it's essentially, it means jack shit. I said, if you don't know what it means, don't say it. Stupid. It actually makes me it makes me pity today's youth of how stupid they are. we were at Waterworld, and we're going down this River of the Pharaohs thing, and it's my whole family on a tube, and there's some kids in front of us on a different tube, and one of the kids on the tube is like, "Yo, 6'7", bro," like that, and we just laugh. And my son is just like, "Guys, don't laugh at that. That's not funny." And my daughter's just like, 43, bro. Because she even thinks it's stupid, and she's 10, and she's just like, what does it mean? If it means nothing, don't say it. 43. Just say, no, it's not 6'7". It's 74, you dumbass. And they'll be like, what is it? Is it? I don't know. Nobody cares. You know what I do care about is if you're running a business and you need help with the back of the house. Running the back of the house is very difficult if you run a business. Trust me, you're going to need someone with experience and is trustworthy. That's where you call the Kirkwall Group. They got over 30 years of experience. Richard and the Kirkwall Group, they understand that you and your business deserve someone who's efficient, timely, accurate, cost-effective, focused on your success, and is working to save you money. Kirkwall Group can help you with your bookkeeping, accounting management services like CFO, controller, accounting manager, projects and support, as well as tax planning and preparation, income, property tax, sales, and use tax. What you need to do, I say all that stuff, just go to kirkwallgroup.net, see everything they can do for you and your business. And while you're there, go ahead, sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. It's Kirkwall Group. Go to kirkwallgroup.net. Kirkwall Group, we count what counts for you. And what we should do right now, oh, this is a good one. It's a good one. Yes, it is a good one. Here we go. Let's jump into sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for Sports with DeHuff.
Did you guys see? I think it happened Friday night. That Phillies fan, it was I believe it was Marlins versus Phillies in Florida. A Phillies player hits a home run. The ball bounces and lands in front of this lady. She doesn't get the ball, but this gentleman who was in the same row slides over, and the ball's on the ground, grabs it, and he's like, yeah, I got it. Walks over to his son, puts the ball in his mitt, gives his son a hug from behind. Then and he's just like, oh, this is a special moment. And this lady, the lady that the ball bounced in front of, stomps her feet and walks right over to the man, gets in his face, and is demanding that he give her the ball because it bounced towards her. She should be able to keep the ball. That's not how it works. Anybody that's gone to a baseball game knows that's not how it works. I almost caught a foul ball once. Didn't get it. And somebody else got it. Guess what? Fuck. That's what happens. It doesn't matter if it bounces off my hands and somebody grabs it. Now, if somebody grabs it and rips it from my hands, that's another thing. That's not what happened. I've seen multiple angles of this. The lady did not have the ball. And the dad goes, whoop, picks it up, grabs it, walks over to his son, gives it to him. She goes over there, demands it back. What's funny, though, is when when she stomps over there, the dad is closing his eyes, hugging his son, just really enjoying the moment. Like, this is it. This is a great moment. This is a great father-son moment. I feel proud of myself, and I feel proud of my kids. And then he opens his eyes because he's hearing barking from a Karen, and she's like right in his face, and he's like, oh, my God, sweet Jesus, it's in my face. They're real. The Karens are real. Oh, my Lord. And she's just sitting there demanding. She's like, that was my ball. You took it from me. And he's like, you didn't have the ball. I already gave it to my son, but you never had the ball. You get in, and she's just going blah, 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 being a bitch. Let's be honest. She was being a bitch. And he ends up just like, you know what? Fuck it. Here, take the ball. He gave an interview, and it was for a website, I believe. He said, I jumped out of my skin, and I was like, like, why are you here? Go away. And she's like, that's my ball. You stole it those are from our seats. And I said, there was nobody in that seat. And she said, that's from where we were sitting. So it was she was saying, because it's on the seat, that's my seat, I should get the ball. Again, not how it works. He added, we were there to get a home run ball. I thought I had accomplished this great thing, and putting it into his glove meant a lot. And she was just so adamant and loud and yelling and persistent, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I get that. There's a few people out there saying that the dad's being a pussy about it, shouldn't have done it. In a weird way, yes, I kind of agree. She stomped her feet and got what she wanted. But, and I'll tell you what ended up happening, which I thought was really cool. But there's also the perspective of he was trying to protect his kids from some psycho fucking bitch. He's like, you know what? This ball means a lot more to her than it does to all of us. If this ball means that much to her, just fucking take it. take it. Because guess what? I love my family. My family loves me. Good luck with your ball. She gets it, and she's like, ha ha, got it. Ha 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 ha. Major bitch, right? And let's be honest, guys. She is the stereotypical looking Karen. And I feel bad that for any person out there that has that same haircut, because somebody that acts like this kind of ruins the haircut for you. You could have had that haircut could be totally acceptable. Then a moment like this happens and you're like, fuck, now I got to wear a hat for a few days till this shit blows over. So the Marlins saw what happened because this thing went viral super dang quick. A Marlins representative later came into the section, apologized to the boy, and gave him a goodie bag with various gifts. They said that was not okay. The Marlins rep said to the young boy, Lincoln, so we brought you a cool little goodie bag. I'm so sorry. He got to meet the batter, the guy that hit the home run. Is that how you say his name? Batter? After the game, and received a signed bat from him as well to make up for the incident. Good for the Marlins, good for the Phillies. It was neat to see two teams working together to deal with a bitch. Let's be honest. I understand the dad's perspective of trying to protect the kid. Just be like, just fucking go away. And you know what? It ended up paying off because the kid got some even better things. The dad was trying to be the bigger, better person. There's conflicting reports of who this lady actually is. But internet sleuths are trying to find her and allegedly found her. Then some people are like, no, that's not her. The person you guys are saying is a Red Sox fan. Sounds like something a Philly Karen would say. But I'm just saying. What a bitch. Hey, cowboy, what would you do if somebody did that to your kid?
Well, that's a good question, Scotty. I think if I was in that situation, I'm the daddy, got the ball, handed the ball to my son, and some Karen-looking thing comes over to me and demands that I give her back the ball. I'd be like, listen, first of all, that ain't all balls. And second, boom, kicked you in the vagina. There we go.
Okay, no, violence is not the answer.
What? You asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
Okay, anyway, go away, cowboy. That's a little much. But I gotta like it. I'm not gonna lie. Ah, man. It makes you really think, like, what would you do? I'm sitting there thinking, if somebody did that, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to give you the fucking ball. I don't think I would have caved. I don't think I would have. Be like, go get security then. Go get security. How about that? You're just going to make yourself look even dumber. Go get security. And I'll throw up my hands and be like, somebody call security. Somebody call security. I took a ball that she didn't have control of. It was on a seat next to her. Yes. Listen, I commend the guy for being calm and collected. I probably would have kept the ball. But, I mean, the good thing, in a weird way, I mean, yeah, he gave her the ball, whatever. And then they were rewarded for their calm and collected situation. But I don't think I would have gave up the ball. I'd be like, how about this? Why don't you go fuck yourself? Give me the ball. Give me the ball. No. Give me the ball. It was near me.
I got a better idea. No fucking way.
Thank you, McGruber. Yes. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. The CU Buffs were in action over the weekend, and they're taking on Delaware. Delaware. So fucking boring. But anyway, what ended up happening is they got some quarterback controversy. Ryan Staub. Is it Staub or Staub? I like Staub. That's better. came in. He was the third string quarterback. And guess what? He played really freaking good, which I was wondering if that would happen because he was Shadur's backup last year. I haven't heard anything negative about him. You see all this hype around those other two guys, and they just weren't playing well at all. Well, here's Coach Prime and Staub after the game.
I had a dream, and I saw something, and I just wanted to chase it. I love being here. I love playing for Coach Prime. And, man, I'm just so blessed I got the opportunity. All I needed was that opportunity, and we got more work to do.
I got a plan. Like, I had a plan coming into this game. I have a plan. I don't know if I'm going to disclose it until we get to our destination, but I saw what everybody else saw today. Martin Luther Staub, that's what he said. He had a dream, right?
He did. He did have a dream. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good lesson for kids. Whatever sport you're in, maximize your opportunity. You don't know if that opportunity is going to come about. The other two quarterbacks were struggling. Staub comes in and just freaking nails. Goes in there and just tears it up. You don't know when you're going to get your next opportunity, so capitalize on it now. Great life lesson. Doesn't matter if it's in sports or in work. Freaking take it, man. Nobody's going to just hand you the job. Nobody's going to hand you the starting quarterback job. Nobody's going to hand you the, clean up batter position. You got to go out there and earn that stuff. Nobody's going to hand you you're our strong, rock solid pitcher. You got to go out there and earn it. How do you do that? By grinding, never giving up. And then when there's an opportunity for you to shine, you just go. No hesitation. And that's what he did. That's freaking amazing. The Denver Broncos beat the Tennessee Titans in week 1. Nick Bonito coming off his big contract extension, 4 years. What is it? $104 million plus. When you add in guarantees, it ends up being about $120 million. But anyway, Nick Bonito just went balls out, just dominated. Here's him talking to Fox Sports after the game.
Just trying to win a championship, man. That's the main goal. I want to be the best I can for this team. We have the guys to do it. We just got to lock in every week and just play how we play.
I like that. Nick Bonito just was money. Money. He goes out there and balls out. The offense was struggling a bit. We'll get into that in a second. But Cowboy DeHuff, we're starting this season. Cowboy DeHuff All Balls Award for week 1. Cowboy DeHuff, who's it going to go to?
Well, Scotty, it's pretty freaking obvious. You just played the audio from the fella. 9 quarterback pressures, 1 sack, 3 solo tackles. All balls, Nick Bonito. You are our All Balls Award week winner 1. Winner, I just fucked that up, but hey, fuck you.
What the hell was that, Cowboy?
I don't know. I got to be honest. I had a little shot of whiskey, and then just things kept popping out my mouth. Anyway, yeah, Nick Bonito, All Balls week 1 winner. I like it. Cowboy. Thank you so much. But going back to the Broncos offense, yes, the Broncos defense was just money. 6 sacks yesterday? Now, here's the thing. Devil's advocate on the Broncos defense. Cam Ward, young quarterback, actually looked pretty freaking good. They had so many drop balls on the Titans that just on the final drive, there was 3 drop balls. That's not on Cam Ward. Those things were hitting the dudes in the hands. But here's the thing. I'm not ready to jump on the Broncos defense bandwagon yet. I know that's terrible to say. What the fuck? Can't believe that came out of my mouth.
Pooey, yucky. But that's the thing. It was the Titans. They were struggling on offense. Okay. It's week 1. Do it again against the Colts. We'll see how that works next week. If they do it again, then I'll be more comfortable. But they did look good. They did look good. But it's Cam Ward. It's his first NFL, upper level. You got preseason energy, then you got regular season energy. And I think it was Mark Sanchez was talking about on the broadcast. You got preseason energy, you got regular season energy, then you got playoff energy. 3 different tiers. Then, of course, Super Bowl energy. So I'm not ready to crown them to be the best defense yet. You got to stack up a few games in a row before I'm really going to put that crown on top of their head. But they looked good. They did. The Broncos offense, not so much, especially in the first half. Staggering, stumbling. Bo Nix making some off-platform throws, just stuff that come on, basic shit, Bo. Get your feet on the ground, get your feet underneath you, make the throw properly. You're throwing these crazy throws, and you don't have to. But part of that, in his defense, is the offensive line, as I've been saying since last year, is not as good as people say it is. And I think that was on full display in week 1 against the Titans. The Broncos' offensive line is not strong. And they're not opening up enough holes. And they're sure as shit not protecting the chosen one. Bosa Tiberius Nix is having to run around a little too much. Now, there was at least one time where Bo did get some good protection, and he just held on to the ball too long. And part of that is if the receivers aren't breaking free and getting a little bit open, that's part of it. But then there's so much that goes into that. There's so much in the coach's film that we'll never see, where coaches are like, why didn't you hit this guy? He has space on the defender. You could have, why aren't you, where's your vision at right now, type of thing. But if the receivers aren't creating distance, there's only so much he can do anyway. And then you mix in with lack of protection or lack of good protection, then it's just not going to be good. The thing that I think is amusing is the amount of people on social media that are saying, see, told you Bo Nix sucks. He's terrible. Bench him. Put in Stidham. First of all, crackhead, no. And I imagine you've probably deleted those tweets by now. I would hope so. There's people say that we were sold a bill of goods on Bo Nix. He's a false prophet. No, come on, guys. It's week 1. Week 1. Here's what's going to be interesting. I thought the Titans' defense looked pretty darn good. We'll see. Again, like with them, it'll be interesting to see how they play next week. And do they have an elite defense too? I don't know. The run game looked decent for the Denver Broncos in the second half. Now, granted, R.J. Harvey had that long run. What was it, like 50 yards? He had like 6 carries for 70 yards. It looks good on the stat sheet, but that's really out of 1 carry. But that being said, I liked it. J.K. Dobbins looked good. Broncos run game. Let's see what you do next week. But I'm not down on it. Not down on it. Santiago said on Facebook they were lucky to win that game. A win's a win, though. Thank you, defense. Yeah, they don't have a good defense. They don't win that game. If the Broncos offense continues to develop and get better, watch out. The Denver Broncos are a major threat to the NFL. The Chiefs lost. on Friday night. So guess what? The Broncos have a better record right now than the Chiefs, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. What else I'm fine with is jumping into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from J.R. Slick. Now, he sends me a video of this woman. Looks like she's deep throating one of those long, skinny balloons where people, twist them around and make them into balloon animals. It's like maybe, say, 3 feet long-ish. And JR said, because she's like shoving this, what it looks like she's shoving it down her throat. And he's asking Connery, is this an illusion or pure talents? Connery, what do you think?
Well, listen, JR and Duff, I've studied this video for hours and hours, and I got to be honest, I pray to God that that's a pure talent because, oh my good Lord. Hey, you know who this reminds me of, Connery? Careful. No, not your mother. Remember Mike Evans? It reminds me of his mother. That's right. That's because I banged her.
Okay, I get it now. I don't believe anything. It's probably an illusion because she's just shoving it down there and blah blah blah. No way. First of all, not safe. Do you want that thing to pop in your throat? And next thing you know, how did Aunt Carol die? She died because she deep throated an animal balloon. What? Yeah. She was pretending it was a wiener and shoved it down her throat. Then it popped, went down her wrong tube, and died. Died by balloon cock. You know what's sad? What's sad is there's probably been some firefighters, paramedics, first responders in general that have dealt with something like that at some point. So you're saying she choked or he choked because he was downing a balloon animal in an erotic fashion? Yeah. Now my head is just, the wheels are spinning in my head. Guys, this is a dangerous moment right now. I want to ask some first responders out there or people that know first responders. I'll ask some people I know. I got to be careful. What are the most hilarious calls that you've been on? What, like you show up and you're like, what the fuck? Like we talked about that. I always bring up that one. It was like from a couple of years ago where this grandpa had to go to the emergency room because he was allegedly just cleaning up his attic and fell backwards and an artillery shell went right up his back end. Had to go to the doctor to get it out. They're like, sure, yeah, you just fell. And why were your pants off? I mean, come on. There's been so many of those. There was somebody that shoved a bunch of eggs up there. I mean, it's just gross. And I just imagine like first responders, sometimes you're just like, this is such a rewarding job. And sometimes you're dealing with terrible human beings. And then sometimes you're dealing with that. That's just gross. I'm sorry. If you have any stories like that or you've heard of any, please let me know. Or you just go, how about this for a weird first responder scenario? And then just make something up. I think that would be great. And then we'll just go, is it true or false? And you tell me, you give me the answer, true or false, but people will play along. Ooh, I kind of like that. True or false? Did we just discover a new game that we could do on the show? You submit a story, a quick story, and then you tell me, is it true or false? But then I relay it to people, and they have to guess. Maybe we get some prizes with this. I don't know. Probably not. Well, no, I would try to get prizes for the people that submit them. I think that would be fun. Go ahead, submit those, whether they're true or false. Write a quick blurb and send it to me, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on socials at DeHuff Podcast. That could be fun. True or false? Ooh. Now, I know I have to. True or false? Well, it's probably going to be obvious, and I've shared this story before. Like a good example would be that there was a nurse working on some tribal lands, and a lady came in with stomach pains, and they do an exam and found out that the lady, the reason why she was having such severe stomach cramps and had a terrible odor coming from her nether regions was because she shoved a Cornish game hen in the vaginal area, and it began to rot. So I would then say true or false. And since you guys know I've told that story before, that's true. I'm assuming it's true. Assuming it's true because somebody told me and she said this happened to her. I mean, who would lie about that? Who would lie? Be like, oh, I just love making up stories about people shoving, poultry items up their vagina or buttholes, right? Anyway, send them in to huffpodcast@gmail.com. This could be fun. Maybe what we do is we stockpile them, and by the end of the week, the very last episode of the week, we try to get at least a couple in. Okay? We'll do that. Anyway, again, to huffpodcast@gmail.com. Ooh. JR, look what you started. You little slut. You son of a bitch. Anyway, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Really do appreciate it. And by the way, the true or false doesn't have to be things being shoved up in orifices. It could be just any kind of weird story. I should make sure people are like, I don't have any good stories about things getting shoved up my can, but I do have this. Well, share that. That's fine. Anyway, thanks for supporting the show. Really do appreciate it. Whether you're listening or watching, I do appreciate you guys. Make sure you can, if you can, interact with the show, whether that's giving it a quick review, whether it's leaving a quick comment, depending on what platform you're consuming it on. Whatever you can do, go ahead, interact with it, and it helps disperse the show to new members of the audience. I do really appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. Big thanks to Kirkwall Group. Go check them out at kirkwallgroup.net. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.